What's up, everybody? So we're back here with my main account, Jason W. We are going to do some elite high level raiding, looking for some loot. We have a lot of fire shield currently on because in order to beat some of these high level bases, you have to sacrifice your gold boosting equipment to put on fire shield and more leadership. You need to have better stats to actually run through these bases. So we're going to try and look for 300,000 in loot or so. Here's a nice 326,000 in loot. Only Firebolt. We've actually attacked him before. He does have some really high level Firebolt towers. So what we actually might try in this battle here is we're going to try something new. We're going to try the Froster out as an attacking unit. And we're going to go with Froster, Mortar, Pyromancer. And you may be wondering kind of why we're using the Froster. Well, the Froster slows down the opponents and allows the Mortar and the Pyromancer to do a lot more damage to those units that are slowed. It bunches them up as well. The Froster doesn't have a lot of HP. That's the big downside to the Froster. So now that we don't have cannons, we are going to be in quite a pickle up here at this corner. And you'll see that the just big clutter of units right there is thanks to the Froster and the war that those guys are waging against each other. So again, we're calling our troops over to this corner, and we're hopefully going to have them take out that Firebolt tower. Once we've done that, we can bring out more mortars, bring out some more pyromancers, and a few more Frosters here and there. And now it's just a bum rush to the castle gates. We're going to try and keep that Pyromancer alive so he can take out a lot more of these Firebolt towers. Unfortunately, none of the Pyromancers seem to be getting through, so we are going to have to sit back some and rest up. We finally have some Pyromancers coming through, but it's a little too late. And unfortunately, the Frosters didn't seem to help out too much. So we'll try a little bit of a different strategy using the same units. We're going to try bringing a lot more mortars in the beginning of the game to deal with his first couple wave troops. We'll see how that strategy works out for us. And you can see his loot dramatically decreased because he actually had some money in his treasure chamber, and now it went back down to like the default levels. So unfortunately, we're not getting 300,000 anymore. So you can see we brought out a lot of mortars. Most of the mortars did survive the initial battle there. Now we're bringing out nothing but Pyromancers. And again, still nothing but pyromancers. We will now bring out a mortar or two. We have to run back, otherwise we're gonna die. We still might die, and we did die. So that didn't work out. We do have a lot of pyromancers coming, so if we didn't die there, we would have been in a lot better shape with that setup, but we did die. So we have to be a little more cautious with the hero, because that group of pyromancers right there will be able to do a massive amount of damage to all the firebolt towers in his base. So we're going to keep that kind of strategy again and be a little bit more cautious with the hero this time. You can see we're also getting a massive amount of medals, 378 if we can get through the base. So definitely very challenging. A lot of opponents actually die to this base. And you can see how effective the base is based on the medal counts. So again, now massive amounts of pyromancers. We're going to bring out one mortar or two right here. And we're actually just going to sit back over here and start healing some. And we do have a few pyromancers that have made it through, which is great. As long as you can keep them alive with the heal spell, we'll be in a really, really good position. So you can see a couple more are creeping through. We are going to call them down here so they attack the corner tower. Come back to heal them and also help regenerate our hero's HP. So now we're going to bring out a couple frosters to stall the units in that choke point up there. And also bring out a mortar to help kill the units and also just do poison damage to them. So we're getting a lot further, doing a lot better in the base this time. We have 30 seconds remaining and we are close to the gate. Probably not going to make it because we don't have enough health. And we are just able to get that heal spell off. Just a sliver of HP right there. We're not going to get 100%. We are going to do a little bit of damage to the gates. Not much. But you can see a lot better ray that time. Not sure how effective the frosters were. So maybe we'll swap them out for something else. And it's all trial and error as you're going high in the leaderboards here, because these are some strong bases. And you'll notice that we still gained 7 trophies for 59%. 220 medals, so a good amount of medals, good amount of trophies. So we might want to try paladins, and you may be wondering why paladins. Paladins, they don't have a weakness to fire, which is good, and they also have a massive amount of HP. They also can't specifically attack the firebolt towers because they're not a ranged unit, so they're going to run past them and they're going to kind of be with the hero. We're only going to be able to bring out paladins once we get past the first initial choke point right in the beginning, because there's a ton of mortars right there, and the poison that will linger on the ground will just demolish any paladins that you bring out. So we're going to bring out some mortars and some pyromancers in the beginning of the game. You can see a ton of mortars right there. Want to make sure that we get up here and we get over here. Now once we got rid of that right there, we can start bringing out a few paladins and see how this effectively works. We are going to head back and try and heal our troops. And you'll notice that the mortars, they don't last very long with the firebolt towers, because the mortars, they are weak to the firebolt towers. So we do have a paladin running through, just as I anticipated. He's now going to roughly stay with the hero, so he's going to act as a shield. And unfortunately, these guys burned him down too quickly. So hopefully the next couple paladins will get through. And we can use them as human shields. So we have almost a full amount of life right here. Our time isn't that great. We probably won't get to the castle gate with this strategy. And you can see a huge, massive buildup of mortars right there. So unfortunately, all the paladins that I'm bringing out are actually dying right to the mortars. So that strategy is not going to work because of the second choke point as well. So it appears that the best strategy to use here is just non-stop pyromancers. So we'll give that a go next battle here. So we'll just spam nothing but pyromancers in this fight and see if that is effective. So like I said, we're going to spam nothing but pyromancers. If anything else comes out, that's a mistake, an accident. Didn't mean to actually click any other unit. We'll see how this works out. It probably will work out decently because he has a lot of mortars. He doesn't have that many arb blasters in his waves, and he has lots of pyromancers. So the pyromancers are, you know, weak to, or not weak to each other, but are very resistant to each other. So they're not going to do much damage. The pyromancers will actually slaughter all the mortars. The only thing that we're really worried about is his arb blasters and his frosters, but the froster doesn't do much damage. So you can see we have a nice massive army of pyromancers. Our hero seems to be taking a lot more damage this time. And that's probably because these pyromancers don't do that much damage, you know, to our blasters or to pyromancers. So we're constantly taking fire damage, and we're taking some arrow damage as well. So we're going to touch those guys with the Blade Storm. We're sit right here and help heal our units and try and recover some. We are making a really good time here. I think I will actually bring out a couple mortars to possibly ease the load at that one initial choke point. Since we have a massive group of pyromancers right now. And you'll notice the mortars are doing a fairly good amount of damage right here in the choke point, and that's what we needed to get past. So that seemed to work out pretty well. We're still not going to be able to beat his castle gates. We're going to get probably a little bit closer this time. We have a lot more HP, so we'll probably get around 59% again. So you can see a very difficult base mainly because of the tower levels. So yeah, so 59%, a good amount of medals, and a few trophies back that we've been losing to him. So that's a crazy thing. He only has fireball towers, and they are pretty damn effective. It's a combination between his fireball tower level and his wave troops. He has very high level wave troops, so it's definitely a challenge. Good placement of the barriers, good placement of the choke points. This is the modified Clover style base, and it is still very effective. Again, Mastery had this a long time ago, and it was one of my favorite design bases that I've ever seen. And you'll see that's why, because of this main choke point, it takes so long to get through here that by the time you get over here, all your reinforcement troops are getting killed and slaughtered in this area, and only the few that got past in the beginning can come with you. So overall, a great job here by Arne22. And if you guys have any tips or tricks, let me know. Let me know if you can beat Arne22, what strategy you're using, and we'll try those out.